Your mouth. That's the body right there. I know. That's the view I've grown accustomed to this evening.
Hello! You wanted to see Els. Hello! Meet the twins and Mr. Bob.
Bloody
And I want to know, what is this?
here we go.
This graphic is a colonoscopy camera.
Yeah, this is it. This is what you
It's
see.
actually inside your lower intestine right now.
Well, have you had that done, Robin? You must have had that done, I'm
Yes,
sure.
I did, actually.
You've had the camera.
And I didn't mind the camera, it was the crew that was painful. And getting photo approval. They're going, are you in yet? No! And it's just a doctor going, just looking around, how are you?
Are you, I know, is it true you're a fan of the Mighty Boosh?
Oh, the Mighty Boosh. Years ago, knew Peter Cook and Dudley Moore. In the old days when I was drinking, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden my hotel room, it was Peter Cook at the door going, hello, Robin. Time for a little fun. It was just like, we're going out now, I hope you don't mind. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I went, sure, let's do it.
Do you miss those days? Because you were about as wild as a man could be, weren't you?
Oh, that was crazy. You know, on my recent drinking relapse, I woke up one morning in bed, and I was fully clothed, and I had a child's mitten next to me, and I went, oh, this is not good. And it turned out it was a waitress with small hands gave me a glove. But you don't want to knock on the door like, that's the man! Or you get a phone call from Michael Jackson. Was I there at your house? No, I think those are the scary things. You know, and when you drink, you have this thing called blackouts.
Yeah. And
they're not really blackouts. It's more like sleepwalking with activities, you know.
So you're still going, you just don't...
Oh, you're still... I think it's your brain going, listen, you're about to have sex with a goat. I'm going now. I don't know how it'll be, maybe bad, I'm not sure. But good luck, I'm going on vacation. I'm gonna leave the penis on, whatever happens, it's your call. I'm gonna try and have you shit your pants to slow you down. But good luck.
Oh, the blackout.
Oh, man,
But when in your first wave of mania, of craziness about canoes, what was the longest period you think that you stayed awake for, that you didn't go home?
There was one time that someone gave me, they gave me 2 Black Beauties, which is like, for those of you who don't know what those are, they're 2 speed pills. And I took them and I went, oh, sure, because in those days, yeah, whatever, fine, let's do it. 3 days later, I was kind of like, oh, boy!
Still going strong.
Why am I in Bombay? No, I was still going, and then the weird thing is you're up and you're up and you're up, but when you crash, even the devil's going, dude, this is not going to go well. You know, I'm really, oh, wow. I lost you when you got on the plane, but this is bad. I'm evil, but this is just strange.
Are you surprised that you made it through that? Because
yeah, I am surprised.
You know, a lot of people didn't, and it's a mad thing to put your body through.
Oh, it is, but I mean, so many of us did it, and you get through it, and there'll be those nights when you do cocaine, and you be like, oh, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, and then you wake up the next morning, I didn't die. Let's try it again. And it's just insanity, you know. And what a great drug! Any drug that makes you paranoid and impotent. How much fun can you have? Come on, let's do this! What are you doing? I can't! I'm nobody, Charlie, I'm nobody! And even your right hand is going, shall I start him? What? Must we do the... Will you give me another piece of jewelry? I'll watch. Shut up.
I'm glad you got your hands up because I've seen you up close before. And you're
I'm scary hairy.
You're the hairiest man I've ever been up close to.
I'm really hairy.
You're like you're like a heart gorilla almost.
I am so much a gorilla. I was once hit on by a gorilla. I met Coco the gorilla, the one who signs.
Oh,
and
Coco.
It was so wonderful. She's very sweet, and she basically signed to her trainer, going, "I'd like to take him in the back." And the trainer said this. He went, "If she takes you back there, I can't help you." No, let's go in the back now. I'd like to talk to you. No, Coco, no play now.
But this must be, I guess, the dream of a comedian is you want to reach an audience, you want to be popular, and therefore when you get to this scale, you're, you know, as big as you can be. It's like the, you know, Steve Martin, Billy Connolly, those are the big names. You're up there with them now, which must feel, I would have thought, great, but also probably a bit strange.
Well, it's a different kind of comedy because I perform big set pieces, I suppose, like on the DVD, as opposed to when you're in a theatre, you can engage with people a bit more.
And
I have engaged a little bit, but it sort of backfired last week in Glasgow. There was a guy in the front row, and he had some glasses with him, sort of spectacles, and I just saw him sitting there, because normally I just think I've just got to perform big and not get involved. I just said, what have you bought your glasses for? You know, you're going to be reading during my show, do you have no high hopes for entertainment? And he said, I've got a lazy eye. And that sort of shifted the atmosphere slightly in the room. And so I tried to change the subject. I said, what's your name? He said, it's Ian. I couldn't resist it. Is that with 2 eyes? It was there for the table.
Well, what about stuff that isn't about you as such? What about, do you ever look to news stories for comedy as well? Do you look at big events, big happenings, that kind of stuff?
Well, I had not really, but occasionally something occurs to me. I had this joke that I was doing, which involved Michael Jackson. And there's a bit of a tension every time you say it. It's a silly little joke, which was I was talking about swine flu and how I was very worried that when we announced the tour, swine flu hits, and I was worried that, you know, how bad is it going to get? I didn't want everyone to be in the audience with, you know, sitting with the masks on and the gloves. Isn't it slightly ironic that Michael Jackson dies just as his look comes into fashion? That was just, you know, that was the...
It's not meant...
So this is me on the cutting edge of comedy. I actually had a terrible incident with this joke. My wife loves this joke. I didn't even know if it was particularly good. We were on holiday, and I'm always very nervous to try out new jokes with my wife. And I said, oh, I've got this Michael Jackson joke. And she just couldn't stop laughing. She said, that's hilarious. And then I got this award. And I've never won an award, and it's quite nerve-wracking. When you win an award for comedy, I think you have to be funny when you receive it. It's not like you win for art direction, you draw a little picture. You have to prove your worth. Otherwise, I think they just take it away there on the podium. So I said, what shall I do? And she said, just do something really quick. Do the Michael Jackson joke. Just do the Michael Jackson joke. It was at the GQ Awards. And look, you know what it's like, there's all these famous people. There's Mickey Rourke is there, and you know, Lily Allen is, and Kate Moss. And I'm like, the last thing I want to do is win an award for comedy and die on my arse in front of all these people. And she just said, just do the Michael Jackson joke and just get out. Just do it and then just get out. Just don't faff around. She also said, it's a strong category. It's unlikely you'll win. Thanks for your support. So I'm sitting there and I win the award, and she just looks at me and goes, do the Michael Jackson joke. Don't mess it up. She tends to end most things with don't mess it up. You know, unload the dishwasher. Don't mess it up. So she says to me, do the Michael Jackson joke. All I'm thinking is do the Michael Jackson joke. I get to the podium. I'm walking up the thing. I've got Kelly Brook standing there with the award, you know. And I'm just thinking, do the Michael Jackson joke, do the Michael Jackson joke. I look into the front row. No word ever lie. Jermaine Jackson is sitting there. Jermaine Jackson, with the sunglasses on, big beaming smile. Look at me and go, who's this guy? He looks kind of funny. I'm like, the panic. I just got the award, I went, thank you, and walked straight out. Unbelievable. Not what you want.
You must miss being at home because you're touring all over the place. You must miss being with your wife, and you've got 2 sons, both sons?
I have 2 middle-class sons.
2 little boys.
Called Lucas and Oscar.
Lucas and Oscar.
Yeah, they're doing very well. I mean, I feel terrible. They're not very happy with me because I haven't been there a lot.
Well, Daddy's not there, but they will understand one day that you're out there earning...
I hope so. I hope so. And I was thinking about that the other day. I mean, there's so many jokes about them in my act as well. I hope that they can see that and that'll make
Well, what kind of jokes do you tell about your boys?
They're not always favourable. I talk about how my 4-year-old has no manners. He can speak now, but he's no manners. I mean, he finishes his lunch and he just goes, ice cream! I want ice cream! I'm like, what do you say? I want ice cream now! What do you say? Give me ice cream! What do you say? Ice cream! Hold on. This goes on for about 15 minutes.
Is he from Asia?
Yeah.
Or something? It's kind of Korean accent. I was like, place it. Ice cream!
Give me ice cream now! And then he says, please. He goes, please. And then you sort of have to give it to him because he said, please, and it's kind of confused.
Well, yeah.
I think he thinks you have to shout about something for 15 minutes, then you say, please. And I need to nip that in the bud as a parent, otherwise he's going to be on his first date at 18, finishing off dinner going, sex! I want sex now! Yeah. Sex, 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 sex!
But Michael, you know...
Please!
If it weren't for social convention, that is what we would all do, isn't it?
Ironically, that's how it was conceived.
My brother is sort of like me, but 10 times worse. I edit what I say. He doesn't. Honestly, he's a painter and decorator, and he was driving his men to a job, right? He was painting the weapons research establishment in Aldermaston, and he stopped at the gate, and there's wind-ups, the razor on, he's making his blokes laugh, and this policeman comes out with a mirror on the end of a stick, and he looks under the van like that, and as he's doing it, his helmet falls off, and 20 cigarettes fell out. And the copper looked at Bob and sort of went, he went, I bet you've always wondered what we kept under our helmets. And Bob went, I knew it wasn't fucking brains. Why would he say that? It's because he was in the mode and he just thinks that... And the copper went, I'm going to strip search this car on the way out. And Bob went in and he finished his shift and he just waited for this copper to go off shift. He wouldn't come out. At my mum's funeral, right, me and Bob... We were arranging the stuff, and Bob went and sort of spoke to the vicar, and I went to the funeral parlour and had to arrange the flowers and stuff. That was a tough gig. I went there, and you know, my parents had a great innings, and we were always cheerful about it, and we was, you know, obviously sad, but this woman comes up to me about the wreaths, and she's sort of dressed down. Of course, you know, it's a funeral parlour. And I'm making jokes. Oh, she's not falling for it. Tough crowd. And she said, so what wreaths were you thinking of? I went, what are they? She went, well, she was a mum. I went, yeah, so we do mum. I went, yeah. She went, and she was a nan. I went, yeah, so we do nan. And she said, what was her name? I went, Eva. She went, OK. I said, is it cheaper because her name's short? She went, well, we charge by the letter. And I went, we all called her E. Not a flicker. Not a flicker, that. Just looked at me like I went, Eva's fine. Meanwhile, my brother's talking to the vicar, and the vicar said, so tell me something about your mother. What was her interest? And my brother went, she was a keen racist. And the vicar went, well, I can't say that. And Bob went, no? He went, no. He went, OK, put gardening.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So it's going about as well as you would hope it to go, I guess.
It's going even better than I thought. No one's shot me or thrown anything at me. So
well, we don't do that so much over here. That's an American phenomenon.
That's an American thing, yeah. I just had to call Obama and tell him to duck.
Okay. Are you pleased to be away from that? Because at the moment, it does seem to be the news in America is dominated by... It's not even the election as such. It's the struggle to find someone who will head the various parties before they go head-to-head.
Yeah. It's good, though. There's going to be a change.
Yeah.
You know, Bush has messed it up so bad that it's hard for a white man to even run for president right now.
that's the positive side of it.
Yeah. People are like, give me a woman, a black guy.
It's gone to that extreme.
It's a woman, black guy, a giraffe, a coyote.
Do you get involved in politics yourself because you're high profile? I know Oprah Winfrey has put her name behind Barack Obama. She's kind of been out lobbying for him.
Oprah Winfrey is so rich, she bought Barack Obama. She paid for him. She built him. He's a robot. He doesn't really exist. Barack Obama. Yeah, that's not a real name.
Great name, isn't it? Have you ever met anyone called Barack before?
I have never met a Barack or a Obama.
So he's a first.
He is a first. I like him.
Have you met him?
I've met him. I've talked to him on the phone. Every time I see him, I'm like, so when are you going to get back with New Edition? What's that about? You guys need to get the band back together.
What's happening with Bobby Brown these days, by the way?
I don't know, but I'm sure crack is related to it.
Poor Bobby Brown, right? Whitney, she's sorted herself out, hasn't she?
She's doing, Whitney's doing good. I mean, hey, they got their kid, you know. They're doing better than Britney. No one.
Okay, yeah. That's a sorry state
They take the white kids quicker. They take the white kids at the first sign of danger. The black kids, he can handle it.
He's going to learn to be tough.
Yeah, it's rough out there.
Do you worry about that ever, though? Is there material that you shy away from? Are there areas that you don't want to head into because it might be either misinterpreted or upset people?
No, I talk about pretty much anything. I don't have any Oprah jokes, just because why piss off the only black billionaire? Why do that? You know, I might need some money. I might need an extra $10 million. And hey, Oprah, could you go on your couch and get me $10 million?
Yeah. She is a phenomenal success story.
Oh, she's the best. She's the closest thing we got to God.
But you see, here's what I don't understand.
I pray to God. I speak to Oprah.
She could be president, surely.
Yeah.
She could be, once Barrett gets in, if people get home, she could just step in and take
she
over.
could just shut this whole thing down if she wanted to.
Would you be interested in doing that? Would you be interested in politics?
No, I've had way too many affairs to do that. Too much drugs and...
Did you have well, actually, you're a father, aren't you? You're settled down now.
Yes, I have 2 daughters,
Okay.
you know.
How old are they?
They are 5 and 3, yeah.
Well,
They smoke.
Kids go through that phase.
Yeah,
don't
they smoke, but, you know.
Yeah.
Menthol.
How are you as a dad? How hands-on are you? How around them are you?
I'm very hands-on. I beat and smack them.
Traditional. Parent,
Yeah, that's my right? I beat them. If anybody else beats and smack them, I get mad.
That's within your...
I get mad, and I show, hey, you don't smack my kids.
Yeah.
You smack them like this.
How do you feel, though? How different is it for you raising your kids? Because it's something I struggle with a little bit, is I'm assuming you weren't born into a wealthy family as such.
No.
But they're born into, essentially...
We were broke.
Yeah. So they're going to have, regardless of what you try and do about it, a very different upbringing, a very different view of the world that you have when you were growing up.
Yes. They're rich kids, and the weird thing is, no matter what I do, my kids are like rich kids, and I've never liked rich kids.
Yeah.
So there's a part of me that actually hates my own children. Like deep down inside, I'm like, you lucky bastard.